Hi guys, it's Paula from PSEN Creations. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you're returning. Today's video is a flip through of the Little Mermaid themed junk journal that I made using a VHS insert. So this one was requested by someone, and I just finished it, and right before I'm about to package it up to get it shipped out, I want to make sure that I do a video. I like doing the videos because I like to go back and look to see what I've done. It also gives an opportunity for those that are purchasing the option to see a little bit more in detail, hopefully, because sometimes when you take pictures, you can only take so many pictures and send so many pictures. And the third reason is I do believe that the flip throughs do, I hope, motivate people or give people motivation, inspiration, ideas even. So let's get started. So the tie is simply a piece of fabric that I picked up at a craft reuse store, thrift reuse store that I have in the little town that I live in. It is gorgeous. I don't know if you can see the sparkle in it, but when I saw it, I thought immediately, yep, this is the closure for it. So I just actually picked up the tie this past weekend. So I'm excited, and I cut it so because the piece that I got was slightly thicker, so I did cut it. So that's nice because I have a little bit more in case I make another one or something else that has this beautiful blue. So again, it is a VHS cover. So the cover itself is backed on cardstock, and then the inside is felt. And then I sew all the way around to add a little bit more structure and stability to the journal. It is 2 signatures in it, and you can see here. And I don't cover the back. I just leave the back as is to show its original form. I do the same with my little golden books as well. So just the preference that I have. As I mentioned, the inside is felt. So I picked a purple felt for this one. I used a number of different books that I cut out fussy cut images from. I use a lot of stickers, vintage papers, dyed papers, so on and so forth. So this is vintage lace. It's a thick, probably a 3-inch vintage lace that makes a pocket in the front of the journal and another pocket in the back of the journal. So we have a large journaling card here. So this was a masterboard that I created. I added these fussy cut images. This is a fussy cut from a book. And then this is actually just a sticker sewed all the way around. I did back it with tea dye paper before. Oop, it's not liking it. There we go. I backed it with tea dye paper. So I like using junk mailer envelopes. This one was a coffee dyed one. I just added a little bit of packing paper here, and I inked all the way around before I placed it down. And then we have Sebastian here orchestrating something. And then the tag here is a fussy cut again of the Prince and the Little Mermaid. I did some stenciling. These are food boxes or food containers, as I usually call them. So I recycle those. And then a book page, sewed all the way around and inked as well. Normally when I'm on video, things don't like to go back in as they should. We have colored paper as well. I picked this up from my little reuse store. Also, they had different color paper. So it's like copy paper thickness. And it's like a lilac purple. I thought it went well. Here's another sticker here. Reproduction invoice. This was a floral book that I had, and I picked out some purples and other colors, and I added pockets here, the clear pockets. So these pockets are laminating papers that I picked up from a thrift store a few years ago, and I use them. So I just sew around and make laminating papers with it. I'm sorry, I make clear pockets with them. This is just a altered flashcard, a little bit of vintage purple lace there that's been sewn on, and then just a sticker. I thought it looked nice. This is just a handmade, very shiny paper. This I picked up in one of those little paper packs, and I just used a punch a Martha Stewart punch that I have, and I added that one to this pocket here, just for the recipient to do whatever they'd like. We have some just lined paper here. This is cardstock, double-sided, made into a pocket. It is sea themed, so it went really well. In this pocket, we have another journaling card that I made. Again, another food container, food box. I did stenciling little hearts, and then they're dancing. This is when she was a human. And this is just a scorecard Yahtzee from the 1950s, 1956. I just added that. Tea-dyed paper. The pan that I use to dry sometimes leaves these little lines with the little dots. So that's why you'll see that here. And of course, a sticker here. This is a kid's dictionary page. I added a little bit of a fabric ruffle here that I made. I thought the colors went well with the purples and the blues for the sea. And then 2 little stickers here. Here is another one of those handmade papers from the paper packs. I added a little bit of washi tape here that will come off, and that can be taken off and written on the back as a journaling card. This is vintage dictionary page, and I decoupaged it with the white of a napkin on both sides. And on this side, I did spritz it with a little purple spritz. So there's a little spritz of purple around. And this is some vintage sheer lace that's sewn on. We have a cutout of Ursula here on this side of the page. Here I made a belly band using the offcuts from the cardstock. And we have an image from another book. And this one's actually backed on manila folder. So I wanted something slightly thinner. And so it's sewn all the way around. Colored blue paper. So I picked this paper up from the same place. It's just blue. So there is a little bit of water staining on here. Again, it's a junk journal. I don't think that that's an issue. But here's an image, a sticker. And then this is from another book. We have the Mermaids, and then we have Flounder. Is that his name? I think so. Flounder and the Little Mermaid. So this is the middle of the first signature. And we have another sticker there. This is the other side of the dictionary page that was decoupaged with the white of the napkin. Here I just added a purple vintage lace here and the guest check, and I just added this little sticker right here to the guest check. I wanted something light because this page is not super heavy, and of course this lace is not super sturdy, so I just wanted something. It is sewn on, but I wanted something that wasn't too heavy. All right, then we move on to the other pocket of the cardstock page. And then this is another image from one of the books that I used. This is on a mailer that I had. So somebody, sent me a mailer, like a paper mailer, and I kept it, and the inside of it is brown. So that's where that came from. Here's lined paper. Here's the other side of that floral book page. On this one, I made this tag here. I love this. I love how this one turned out. This is supposed to be bubbles. Hopefully that portrays the stamps that are the stenciling that I did. It's supposed to be bubbles. King Triton. And this is a food container. So you can definitely put something wider in here, but I thought that this went well. And on this side is a different guest check with, again, it's been inked on the edges, and then I just added a little sticker there. So this one goes in slightly tighter. The other side of the reproduction invoice, the reproduction invoice, the other side of the colored paper. Here's another fussy cut from a book. This is some eyelet vintage lace here. It's not ruffled, it's just eyelet vintage lace sewn on all. And then we go into the second signature. The second signature starts with a cardstock, C cardstock, of course, with a pocket and a journaling card. I thought this was the cutest journaling card ever. Do you see him? So, oh, sorry. Let me show you the back. So this was that mailer again. So that's why it's brown and not white. And it is thinner. So I don't know if I can, hold on. Let me show you guys what I mean. So somebody mailed something to me and I kept this. So it's the flat rate envelope, but it's very, very thin. Very, very thin. So very similar to like a manila folder, a thinness. So on this one here, instead of doing a pocket, I just sewed this little colored cardstock down here. It's kind of glittery, but it doesn't, there's no fallout. Wait, is there fallout? Hold on. No, there's no fallout. This was from the paper pack too, and I just added this sticker here and just a little writing space. I thought that the butterfly was very nice. It's like she has her legs here, so she's looking at the birds. On this side, I used a vintage napkin. It had a few issues right here, but I loved the florals. I thought it was very beachy Hawaii, and it's not a napkin, it's a handkerchief, a vintage handkerchief, and it had the purples in it. This has to be probably my favorite tag. So I use stickles, so I let them dry. Very important to let them dry. But the colors, just this, you see the fork? She's combing her hair. This is a fussy cut from a book page. And then this was a piece of fabric from one of those rugs. So I just cut a little bit. It's the same fabric that we used in one of the other tags too. See this one right here. But do you see how they matched? I love that. But I loved how this turned out. I don't know what it is. I don't think that the camera does it justice. This is probably my favorite tag ever. I don't know. Another reproduction invoice, lined paper. This is a French English dictionary, and I added another piece of that little handkerchief, vintage handkerchief. And again, this one had a little, it had a little rip. The handkerchief was not in good condition. But the colors I think went really well. So I did sew that on there. So it's, you know, you can put something down here, a little hidden writing spot. Another little sticker on blue paper. This is an image cut from another book that I had that was a larger book. Some ruffled eyelet vintage trim here that I sewed on. And on this one is another junk mailer pocket. So we have Sebastian here, and then we have some washi here with some sea creatures, and this was a fussy cut from another image, and I spritzed on this book page. This is a food container. I spritzed, let it dry, and then I added her glued on the fussy cut, and then I sewed all the way around, and then I inked it and I made it into a journaling card. This is a dictionary page, but this is a different dictionary page from I think this one's from the 60s. The other one, I don't think it's from the 60s. Here's another sticker here that I thought went well. The middle of the second signature, we have our friend Ursula here. Is she really our friend? I don't think she is. And then we have King Trident. He's very upset. Very, very upset. And then we have the whole crew. No, because Sebastian's there too. You have the whole crew except for the prince. We have everybody there. All right, we have another image here, which is, again, another sticker of Ariel. I see the Little Mermaid. That's the first time I've called her name. Here's the other side of the vintage dictionary page, and it's just sewn on. This is a vintage lace. It's about an inch and a half maybe in thickness, this one, or an inch and a quarter. And then I just sewed around. This is a piece of cardstock that came in one of those paper packs, and I just made it into a corner tuck. A little image here of her sitting there. And then this is an image from the book. One of the books. I used a number of different books. It is sewn all the way around. And again, I used that very thin mailer. And here's another page with another sticker of Ariel and Flounder. The French English dictionary page. Lined writing paper. The reproduction invoice. Here's the other side of that magazine. I'm sorry, it was not a magazine. Floral book page. And then here is our vintage handkerchief. And this tag here, it is on the smaller side, but I thought it was absolutely adorable. So again, I took a food container, book page, and then I spritzed it, and then I sewed all the way. Well, I added these are stickers, and this is a fussy cut from one of the books, but the gang is all there, and then I sewed all the way around. But it fits nicely right there. So it's a nice little spot there. And we have a little seahorse friend. I love how he looks. And this, obviously, if the recipient doesn't like this, oh my God, it's a gas plant. I just realized that. Little blue stem and a gas plant. Okay, obviously you can cover this, right? You can cover it however you want. And then the last page, which is the second signature, which is the cardstock that we made into a pocket, is another little image that was cut out and then backed on a food container box and then sewn all the way around. And the last journaling card, large journaling card, again, another image from one of the books. It is on a masterboard that I made and backed with some writing paper and sewn all the way around. And that is the flip through of the Little Mermaid VHS cover book that I made. This one is spoken for, but of course, if you have a movie that you are interested in having made into a little journal, let me know. If I can find the things in the movie, maybe I have it, I am happy to make it. So you can message me on Instagram, PSE Creations, on YouTube here, on Tickety Talk, and on Whatnot. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions on anything that I did or anything that I do, please let me know, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.